Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Monday night Plastic Crack podcast. Sorry, we're having a little bit of a chat before we went live, and
can I get intervention?
we can't really repeat what we were talking about.
You just told me just now. I think I'm in trauma now. That's it.
No, I'm going to need a therapist.
It's good
I'm
to
going to
be.
need a therapist after that because that was just.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yes. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a fun subject. We're chatting hobby to history, or just character to hobby. So it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, welcome if you're watching on the catch up. Thank you for everyone who's taking the time to be here. You can find all of the links to our channels down below, to the Facebook group, and to Boards and Swords, who are kind enough to sponsor this madness. And remember, you can womble over to their website, put in the code PCP5, and get yourself 5% off their already discounted prices. Yeah, I'm back from the cold north. It was cold.
How many projects did you get from wandering around cavalry forts and other things?
Very nearly. When we went around Chester's fort, which I didn't know was a cavalry fort, I'm sure I knew 30 years ago. My 10-year-old self probably knew that. So we went off to have a look around that. So I was googling, and this could be a fun. I was thinking maybe like a skirmish game, like maybe like cavalry coming down the wall to because there's a mile in trouble. Fortunately, I was only allowed one sort of history related visit for the holiday, so it didn't quite. I think if we'd have gone somewhere else, that might have tipped me. But then also, as I said to you, Tom, because we caught up the other day, I've already got Romans in 2 time periods. Do I need Romans in another time period? And do Byzantines count as Romans? Because that could technically be a 3rd time period.
Yeah, that is. Well, they are really Eastern Romans, aren't they? So yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Count.
So yeah, that
you
was.
Can never have too many Romans, mate. Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, apparently. So yeah, it was all right. But I did, in researching for today, I very nearly started and probably will be starting a new project. So for those of you who maybe don't know what we're going to be chatting about today, I set the guy some homework, and I did listen to the last stream where Steve said that he was going to get a sick note or whatever it was. So basically, what I've set the guys a challenge, which was to find a person from either history or fiction that you could build a wargaming project around, of any scale, any size, any game. It could be a character from a book, like maybe a historical novel, like if you wanted to do a sharp thing. It could be a character from a fantasy novel or a 40k novel, or it could be someone from history. But I said that there was bonus points for the more obscure, the better, so that we've all got something to look forward to, because everyone's got their Caesars and their Alexanders and all of that. So is there someone else? I put it up in the Facebook group as well, and there's been some awesome responses, so we're going to definitely go through those as well. So
do we need a disclaimer under the stream right now saying we're not held responsible for any projects that are started on the tonight's stream?
Yes. I kind of want to be held responsible now. I kind of want to, but before we get into all that, let's see who's joined us tonight. So Trey Janik is here. He's making headway on his Danes for Beneath the Lily Banners, 3 regiments ready for the wash. I've got some stuff as well for Beneath the Lily Banners. John Sowerbury is here. Red Steph, he's got an Indian takeaway, a beer, and a PCP. Excellent. What do you need? Seriously, Wargarian, how you doing? He's in Ontario. Lionheart, Richard Hawes, and Paul's Paint Shed. Hello, thank you for dropping in. Jonathan Ward, how you doing? He's from the deep south of Hampshire tonight, driving himself nuts trying to paint Wargames Atlantic World War II Italians to a standard that he's happy with. Mobile and Hostile, Sam Rushmere, Granaprigo, Bill Dutton, Mark Riding, Andy Sykes. The real Steve is here. He's Gene Steeler Magus. That is a very Steve thing to do.
It is.
Yes. It is a very Steve thing to do. Andrew King, Daniel Justin, Will Stonehouse. How you doing, dude? Trevor Hodgkins, David Few, Mark Bro, Mike Schubert, Neil Oldham, the Hobby Brush. How you doing? He says he missed last week. He didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it. Nothing much happened. Back to a painting. and Ariel, the Twilight Legends. There you go. We've got to let you get that in there each week.
I think it was the best week last week, don't you think, Steve?
Oh, gold. Absolute 2 hours of gold.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Alex did all the talking.
Exactly.
Bless him. No, it was a really enjoyable stream. I was listening to it on the drive home from Newcastle while everyone was asleep at the car. So I hasten to add, I put the stream on and then they all fell asleep.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Bar 8182, how you doing? He's taking on some Warmaster. James is here from Shaco's. Frank's Miniatures. Nathan McGowan, how you guys doing? Rock and Mall. He's doing a 15mm ancient city wall. Very cool. Will just asked me how Newcastle was. Cold. I had a lovely time though. Yeah. It's just varying levels of cold. Yeah. But yeah, I had a lovely time. Ate a lot, drank a little bit, and spent 5 days in the same room as my entire family. And now I want to spend all my time separate to my lovely family. Do you know what was really weird? I don't know if this happened with you or Steve when you were a kid, right? We were on holiday and we were all in that same room. And kids did not fight once. Did not fight at all. We get home where they can go anywhere in the house and they're pulling each other's hair out. Yeah.
Yep. It exactly happens every time. Every time we used to go away with the girls, exactly the same used to happen. Don't know why.
Dale Yates, Jeremy Taylor, Dwarven Mustache, Walkabout Games, David Kerr, Old School, Major Clanger, Bits. God, there is a load of you in here tonight. Thank you very much. Lazy Pirate, Rob Yance, how you doing, dude? Baron's War, good man. Ewok Kebab, how you doing? Bicker City, hello, how you doing, dude? And we've caught up, and it didn't do that thing where it went to the bottom.
Yay.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. How are you two? You been all right?
Yes.
Apart from the trauma of earlier on, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, apart from that. Block that out.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, they keep saying it's going to get warmer. It bloody isn't. It's freaking cold again.
It was yesterday. It was lovely around here. I had a bit of a chinwag outside my mate, and yeah, it was a nice kind of balmy Sunday afternoon. It was lovely.
Yeah. I was trying to forget about the weekend because of the rugby, so I'm just going to move on from it.
Not the curling. It wasn't the curling.
I mean, isn't it amazing with anything like that? That I don't know how much of those sort of sporty events you watch, but when things that you never watch any other time, and then you watch them within 10 minutes, you're an absolute master of them. Why did they put it there? Why didn't they just come off that one there? And I think what he's going to do here is spin it off that ball. It's like it's just extraordinary.
Did it remind you of that bloody game in the Tudor book?
Yes, it did. Crokinole. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, certainly did. That was a great game.
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking of. That's cool. Well, let's check in. What have you guys been working on? Let's start with Steve. What's Steve been doing?
Give me 2 seconds. I've been quite productive. I had a long weekend to myself. I was off on Friday, so I literally painted for like 2.5 days. It was brilliant. Had a bizarre accident with a frying pan. I burnt my arm, but apart from that, no, it was a really good weekend. It's terrifying. My frying pan decided to leap off the oven and just attack me. Oil, hot onions, and a nice, great big scar across my arm. Fantastic way to spend a Saturday afternoon. But no, I have been painting, and some of this is going to be a bit of a surprise. It was to Dom last week when I told him. But let's start off with, so I mentioned these last week on the stream where I said I was working on a couple of miniatures from the War Games Atlantic Agents box where everything went wrong from beginning to end. Just everything was just
everything went wrong.
Everything wrong. But I finished them, and there they are.
Oh, that's very cool. Is that not John Wick?
That's definitely not John Wick. That's Bob Walk.
Bob Walk, love it.
But I mean, despite the absolute annoyance of things going wrong from painting these. I really enjoyed them. I've built 2 more, and I've even tried combining them with other kits as well, and it's going quite well. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to paint. I don't like painting that amount of black suits though. It was annoying, very, very annoying. What else are we doing? But this is the one. So last week after the stream, I said to Dom that I could blame Dom for something. I know on his recent.
It's not usually my fault. Come on.
No, but on your recent Odyssey 3 of the Air, War Games Atlantic 10mm Agincourt. Now, when they came out, I was absolutely just intrigued with them. I was like, I just need to own these and paint them. I don't care what game system they are. I've just got a thing at the moment for painting 10mm.
Mm-hmm.
So I started painting them.
Very, very cool.
I know it's not feasible to continue with this amount of detail on 10mm figures.
Yeah, you did put me to shame with those. I thought, bloody hell, he's really gone to town on those. And I thought, hang on, there's 700 in the box. I think you won't keep that up.
No.
That's the front rank, I'll take it.
Yes. So I started off last week by painting a base of archers and a base of knights or men at arms. And so I carried on with those. And then throughout the week, I just completed the first unit. So that's the first unit of archers.
I like what you've done with that setup. That's really cool. Oh, they're all on individuals, aren't they? So you can just build up. Oh, that's really clever. I like that. That's really good.
Well, I thought you'd done that, Don, where you'd put the spikes or the.
I did, but I thought you'd done it as one big base. But now I look at it, I'm
no.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like it because you often don't see we talked about this before, but having a depth of a unit is actually quite. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's
very cool
again, and then so that's the full unit there in their component pieces. Cheers, Matt. Thank you. Do you know what I really like about these? The detail's fantastic. It's that it gives you the options. You've got bases of 5, 3, 2, and 1.
Yes.
Rather than just saying here's units of 5, knock yourself out. You can break them up, and they don't look like sort of just rigid ranks of figures. I really did like that.
No, I completely agree. It gives you that flexibility, doesn't it, to build them how you like. Really good.
So I'm currently got some more men at arms attached to.
I'm working on him, Steph. I'm working on him.
I don't know about that. I think I might finish this box by about 2034. I can imagine. But no, they are really nice. Maybe. Yeah. But the level of detail on those kits is absolutely phenomenal. Just so much detail on them, and it certainly makes painting them a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed working them. I'm gonna do them in between different projects. I think if I just sat down and painted nothing but every 4 weeks, I'd go a bit doolally tap. So I'm not going to bother. But I'm going to work on them. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And over the weekend as well. No, recently I don't know where anyone saw it, but I've been reorganizing my bolt action armies according to Still Mania. So it's an ethos from Nigel Stillman in the 90s, where you build an army to a certain amount of points, and you don't add to it, you don't touch it, that's it. You just don't add anything more to it or look at it ever again, apart from when you're playing with it. So I've been doing that. So I've been reorganizing all my current bolt action armies into 1,500 point individual armies. Trying to get as historical as possible, and then just adding nothing more to them. So I've been beavering away at them because I want to start the Japanese starter box soon, and I wanted to get these out of the way. So yesterday it's a bit of a crappy picture, but I completed my US Marines.
Nice.
That's cool.
About just under 1,500 points, 4 platoons, all done, all rebased. And that's it. That nothing will be added to that list, and nothing will be taken away. That's the way it is. And so I'm currently doing that to all of my existing bolt action armies. In fact, even tonight's subject has been incorporated into my current project, but we'll get to that.
Okay, that's interesting.
When we get there. But yeah, that's been my week. Quite productive.
So explain that theory, Steve, again. So
Still Mania.
Yeah, so you decide on the size of the force and you just don't go any further. Don't add any extras, anything at all.
No. So the way Nigel Stillman did it in the 90s, it was for Warhammer Fantasy Battle. And it was, you build an army as close to 2,000 points. You name every character. You paint it. You varnish it. You never play with any other army. No, if you're going to take the army, take that regardless of how many points your opponent's got. Just take the same army and learn it, run with it. I know it's going to be really difficult, but the plan is just to put them all in individual sort of carry cases, so I know where each one is. It's 1,500 points. Yes, that's completely. I've been a bit selective in which parts I observe. And the
you
varnish
haven't fully embraced Still Mania.
I've not fully embraced it, but I just think it's a really good way. I remember reading it back in the 90s and thinking, why would anyone do this? But now I can see
it's a very disciplined way of doing it, isn't it?
It is.
It's true.
I was just fed up. I've got army bits and pieces everywhere. I've got things that are half finished, things that I didn't even start. I just thought if I could have a finite cut-off point, like poof, there we go, just done. I think I'd be a lot happier. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I've done Polish Airborne, Fallschirmjäger, Winter US Airborne, US Marines, the one we're going to talk about tonight, and my Winter Germans are like 99% done. I just need to add a couple of bits and pieces, and then it's going to be the Imperial Japanese. So it's like Dom said, it's disciplined. It's just having them I just like the idea of having something, an army I can just take off the shelf. I know what's there. I know how it plays. Like Carl said, though, it's going to be difficult when I'll just add another platoon to that. I won't be doing.
I understand the concept. The idea of discipline just doesn't work for me. I see Don's the same. I've never handicap.
No, I mean, but back in the day, I wouldn't be like that. I mean, when I first started bolt action, my German army was insanely big. It was like, added together, it was about 6,000, 7,000 points. And the thought of doing that now just gives me chest pains. I couldn't do anything like that. It would hurt. But no, that's
very cool.
It's been interesting.
I like it. That's it. I mean, if it gets you through getting things sorted as well, it's a good approach.
What about you then, Dom? Have you been going through in a disciplined way? And
oh yeah, you know me, I'm disciplined all over. You cut me with discipline.
You are the epitome of restraint and discipline.
Exactly. I'm still covered in bloody flock and Vallejo mud and glue because I'm rebasing, like as Alex said last week. I'm pulling off and sticking on all over the place.
Pardon me.
Last week was like 2 hours of being in a carry-on film.
Matron. Yes, I'm doing a mass recycling project on my 28mm ancient collection because 2026 is year of the ancients, didn't you know? That's taking up a lot of time. So I'm trying to sort of intersperse that with other painting jobs, but I haven't actually done as much as I would normally do. So, which is fine. This is all good. But I did start up. So I'll see your 10mm Steve, and I'll show you my English knights and dismounted men at arms. So I did. That's basically a sprue.
Yes.
Which is what, basically enough
cool.
for 4 bases and some casualties. So that's another load done. I think I've got 1 sprue left of the English knights left, and a couple of longbow yet left, and then I will have done all the English box, and then I need to finish off the evil side, get them done next, and then we're all good to go, and can actually have a game, which would be brilliant. I was originally going to sort of do French and then do English, or English then French, and then but for some reason I've just found the English a lot easier to do. So I mean, they're exactly the same. The knights are exactly the same, so it's not really that bad. But anyway, so that's that. Which is cool. Although I've just noticed a blob of red on one of the helmets. I'm going to have to go back and touch up. Never mind. I'm not going to show that again. Then I also, because Paul down the club wants to use the 0-hour rules to play some Russian Civil War, which will be really cool. You've got a load of 28 mils apparently. So he said he's a bit short on White Russians. I thought they were a drink, but apparently they're also figures. Drink. Very good drink. So I had a box of Wargames Atlantic plastic Russians. So I'm painting them up because I'm sort of going to do some anyway to go up against my Ottoman forces. So I did the first 8 of them.
Nice.
There you go. So I think I like them better than I do the Wargames Atlantic German World War ones. They're all a bit sort of thuggish in the arms, whereas these are a little bit better proportioned, I think. But yeah, so that's the first 8, which was kind of a tester more than anything else to see whether I like the color scheme. But he tells me you can't really tell much. I saw Alex is in the chat, so you probably have epileptic fit at the moment. But Paul told me there's not an awful lot of difference between Russian World War I troops and White Russian troops. So there you go. That's what they're going to be repurposed as. Expect an explosion any minute now. And then I also did some more forces for the Ottomans. So I did some mounted Arabs, which I'm quite pleased with how they came out.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They're lovely.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're. I mean, I guess I could use them as against the Ottomans as part of a British force. So for yeah, just sort of Arab rebellion kind of figures, but they're really nice. They were really good fun to do. Spent ages trying to work out what colours.
I really like them.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. They're quite pleased they came. They're North Star metals.
Oh, they really?
Yeah.
Do like North Star metal.
They're really cool. Really good. Yeah, I know. I don't do a test model. I do a test unit. It's the way to do it. I forget the colours otherwise. That's what it is. So yeah, I did that. And then I get rid of that picture. And then I did a short video, but I only did 4 of them, so it doesn't really count as a unit, and they're not based yet. But I did do the first 4 of the piano.
Yes, I saw
the
that.
plastics. So I did a little video on them.
Alex says his interests lie on the Western Front. He knows very little about the Eastern part of the war. And then further down, he said, so you can do as whatever you want as far as he's concerned.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Good stuff. I'm very pleased to hear that, Alex. I was worried for a minute that I was gonna have a Donism on the blue front on there. So I did these first 4, and I'm really pleased with the figures. I think they're really nice, and even a Neanderthal like me put them together reasonably well. So
Stupid Fat Hobbit has joined the chat, and he's
we can start now, can't we? I mean,
that's it.
God.
That's such a good name.
One.
Thank you for joining. That's awesome.
Stupid Fat Hobbit. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Yeah.
Cool.
What about you? Have you had time in between your
yes,
Newcastle?
I've done stuff. I've done stuff because I went out of my way to record a bunch of stuff. So while I was in the Premier In room while watching the curling, I was editing the video about how I did the Castle Siege table that went out. In fact, it's on the table again right now for the first game. So that's there at the minute. So yeah, I've been enjoying quite a bit. So the first thing I did, I completed these 2 chaps for the Barons War.
Nice.
So
nice.
2 more nights. Now, I know what you're thinking. You know exactly who they are.
Absolutely.
But I'm not. But so I'm. As you know who they are, I'm not going to. I wouldn't expect you to say. Obviously, the chap in the blue. The yellow and black. Jesus. This guy is Henry IV de la Pomeroy. And he's one of King John's household knights. Essentially, he does nothing of any importance or in any way significance. He just has a lot of money and then dies. But he has very cool livery. So
It's very cool livery.
that's why I chose to do him. Well, I wanted to do basically. I keep on getting asked about how I paint them, especially how I do the comparisons, because I stipple the rather than like painting normally. And so I thought I'll do him because it's yellow and black and it's a bit of a different shield design. But this guy here, which is Godfrey de Crowcombe, I did actually need for a scenario that I've got planned, because he is a key player in a battle with two of the other knights that I've done. So I thought he was a good chance. But the problem with his yeah, true, to be fair, that's all you really want, really, isn't it?
Lots of money and then die. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's what he had. He had lots of money and then he died. But yeah, this guy, his arms are only described in text. There's no sort of visual representation anywhere of his arms. It was just described in a manuscript. So it just said 3 gold crosses on red. And I was like, well, that to me looks like that. So,
yeah.
So I did those.
I like I know you can't see much of it, but I like the horse color. Really cool.
Yeah, that's just that's what is it? Agaros Dunes as a base.
Oh, it is.
And then
Is it? Okay.
I mix Agaros Dunes with buff and then use that to highlight it up bit by bit.
Nice.
So I did those. They were a lot of fun. So now I've just got to edit, because I haven't done a painting video for quite a long time, and I forgot what a pain they are to edit.
They are a pain in the arse.
I have a lot of footage. So I'm really pleased with those. And then I finished another unit for the Great Northern War. So this is these are the Ingham and Lansky Dragoons. And I chose them purely because they're blue. Because I've done red and I've done green and I've done white, and I haven't done a unit that was blue. But because I'd done the Ingham and Lansky Foot Regiment as well, which confused me because they're green, but their Dragoon Regiment was blue. But yeah, those are Eborn miniatures. How do you like a mounted drummer, Steve? But you see what I mean? There's less faff. There's less faff than on a Napoleonic, but still enough. So yeah, they were. Yeah, I was pleased with her. Cheers. Pleased with how they came out. Look, and as I can't believe I did this. I went into proper, is it button counting, flag waving territory. As they're sort of just standing rather than out, I made sure that the flag was hanging limp rather than.
Oh God, yeah, you don't want to.
Don't want a billowing flag on a.
No. It's all about the limp fabric on that on there. But yeah, so I've got they're done. They'll be making an appearance at Carry On Cracking to have a crack at Paul's Swedes. So they'll be there. So yeah, they're really nice models. They're really nice to paint up good metals. So that's what I've been working on. I'm currently sticking together teeny weeny 10mm fantasy models, which I don't even know why I'm bothering to hold up, but I'm just doing those at the minute. But these are the Argatoria ones. So I've got like these awesome little sort of angry Viking people. So yeah, it's been busy. Let's just quickly catch up.
Oh, there's a question here. Somebody asked me. Saw a video on the Hannibal box. I've started mine. Seems insurmountable. It is. Have you ever finished yours? I've done most of the Carthaginians, but Romans. What can I say? I haven't done the Romans. But yeah, it is. Just keep going. Just keep going. I have to say, now I've got the taste for the 10mm. I'm going to go back and do a load more of them, because I think I've got the technique.
I think that might. I don't think you should do that. No? I think you should carry on with your 10 mils. I think you'll go back, remember you hate Romans, and then not touch anything small for a while.
It's possible.
I think that's knowing you. Like, I think that you could go back, go, I hate this, and then it'll put you off. I think.
I thought I could do the Romans like I've done the medieval knights. Just do them in plate mail spray, and then just pick out the bit of colour, and that will get them done nice and quick.
Do Romans really have that much of an effect on you, Dom?
I don't know what it is, Steve. I've said this before. I love the history. I love, reading about their conquests and the empire and what have you. but I just hate wargaming with them. They are so boring. God, they're boring. What do they ever do for you?
Well, your only problem, Ned, I was just thinking, is that half the minis aren't wearing armor, are they? It's all fabric.
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
So that's what I mean. Do with his Yorkshire Dragoon. He has said, question: should he finish weathering a building or paint some new minis?
New minis. Go new minis.
But if all you need to do is weather the building to finish it off, weather the building and then reward yourself.
Yeah.
Reward yourself with the new minis.
What minis are they? More importantly,
what building is it? I mean, if it's just like a tiny little one, that's fine. If it's the Death Star, then that's something, different, isn't it? Oh dear. Right then. Let's get on to a little bit about tonight's topic. So if you guys have anyone that you want us to look at, then pop it in the comments. What we'll do, we'll go through our 3 picks. Then we'll do the news. Then we'll have a look at what and chat about some of the ones that we put on Facebook. And then we've obviously got the viewers' pictures, and we can just argue about our choices that we do. I'm going to kick things off, I think.
Oh, go on then.
So, this is the person that we're going to be talking about. Let me just get him on screen. There he is. Ooh. Do you know who he is?
I've seen that picture.
Anyone know who he is? It's part of a very famous mosaic, so you've probably seen the other people on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone ever really notices this man at the back. If anyone ever really notices him. Okay, so this is a chap called Narcissus. Okay. Or it's actually got to go Narcissus when you pronounce it. He is probably, in my opinion anyway, the least impressive looking conqueror in European history. Right? So when you look at him,
it sounds like your kind of character. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. So look, when I say to you, imagine a man who reconquered Italy in the 6th century. I guarantee you that's not what you think of
no.
when you look at it. You're probably thinking.
I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I would not say he's an amazing conqueror.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously, so you probably think, you get like, should be. You should probably think that you get like, like a towering warlord with like a, dramatic beard and, big gold helmet. And instead what you get is a elderly Byzantine court eunuch who looks like he's here to give you an audit.
He hasn't got enough facial hair to be a warlord. He had just
But this is the man that the Emperor Justinian sent to deal with the Ostrogoths. This is the guy that they sent to do it.
Really? Did they want to get rid of him? Yeah. Was that the whole plan? We'll send him out to deal with them. I hope he dies.
It's quite fascinating because when he starts getting involved in things, he's actually he's in his 50s. He actually makes very old bones. He dies between 85 and 90. They're not entirely sure. Wow. So he makes very old bones, which at that point is, quite a feat. Now, I have always been interested in that sort of post-Roman period in Italy and the Mediterranean. Let's look at it. It's got ginger. We're talking, sort of early Byzantine.
I know where this is coming from. I know where you're heading with this.
Yes, you are, and you're going to know why. And I found it. Do you know I said I didn't know how I was going to use them? I know how we're going to
use them, are we? Okay.
Okay. So as I said, this is the chap that Justinian sent to deal with the Ostrogoths. So you've got to imagine, obviously, at this point, Italy is essentially a smouldering wreck. Rome's been sacked, unsacked, resacked, and essentially is the equivalent of like a house share at this point. It's a student flat. Rome, no, everyone comes in and out of Rome. Absolutely, I didn't say the bad thing. The early medieval. So I love this guy's name. So the Goths under their king, whose name is Totila, or Tortilla, as I like to call him, are still putting up a proper fight in Italy. Okay, Totila is everything you expect. He's a sort of bold, martial, dramatic, amazing hair, proper warlord. and then to fight him, they send this guy. Okay. So Narcissus, now, he's not sent with like a glorious legion of Byzantine troops, which is what you'd expect Justinian to send, because you've got to remember that this is at the same time as I don't know if people in the chat knows, he's operating at the same time as Belisarius. Okay, and not Belisarius Cool from 40k or 30k before people say like Belisarius. So on the other side of this mosaic, the character to his left is Justinian, and on the other side is Belisarius, and they're part of this mosaic, and he just looks like some evil courtier in the background. But he's sent over, so he doesn't come over with a legion. He was essentially he's sent over with what I can only describe as a multinational corporate task force. He has Byzantine infantry. He has archers that he carefully places just to cause maximum irritation. He has Armenian heavy cavalry. He has Punic horse archers. He has Lombards. And he has mercenaries who are absolutely loyal, provided they're obviously paid on time and don't feel whimsical or get any ideas. He has it's less of an army and more of a performance review of what he can achieve with this ragtag group of and that's why I love it. This could be you could buy to do this project. You could literally buy 5 different units from 5 different nations of this period, and they were in his army, and that's what he went to Italy with. He then faces off against I'm going to keep calling him Tortilla, so there we go. He faces off against Tortilla at this. But now look at some of the look, John the Glutton. That was one of his divisional commanders.
John the Glutton.
John the Glutton.
This is just a whole joke they put together, isn't it?
I don't know.
You've got a tortilla, you've got Glutton, you've got some guy who looks like he's photobombed the picture.
Well, as you can see here, Tortilla, he does the sensible, heroic thing and launches a magnificent cavalry charge. It's bold, dramatic. It's all the kind of thing that gets you into tapestry. Narcissus, meanwhile, arranges his troops in a tidy crescent. He lets the Goths smash into his wall of shields, rains arrows on them with quiet efficiency, and then gently deletes them from the field. There's no fuss, no shouting, no duels, just administrative competence. And he just wipes them out. So Tortilla dies. The Gothic resistance essentially collapses, as this is part of the Gothic War. I should probably add in. Italy is technically liberated, although it now resembles essentially an apocalyptic wasteland. And this is why I think he's perfect for a wargaming project. You're not playing like the glamorous Romans. You're running a carefully balanced and a coalition who have all got loyalty issues, because he had all these problems to keep it. They all hate each other. The Lombards hate the Huns, and the Huns hate the Byzantine, and what he was good at, he was essentially really, really good at logistics. And he's an amazing character. And he was a eunuch. He was in charge of like the grain supply. Awesome. So but you've got to do Narcissus now. You've got to have him on the battlefield. Really miserable. You've got to have this as this really miserable, understated looking guy at the back with the least impressive command base ever made, with just this sad guy on it who's just brutally. But with this, you could have coalition issues, loyalty issues, supply problems, mercenaries who might defect. And battlefields with I got this from Total War, that's the kind of armies you're looking at. But you can have like ruined aqueducts and ruined villas and knackered Roman roads on the battlefield. because they're fighting over all of it. He's not flashy, he's not romantic, and he's definitely probably not on anyone's list. He was described as a softly spoken elderly administrator, and essentially he's solved the Gothic War through positioning patience and an offensive level of competence.
Do you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking forward to the Ridley Scott film all about him. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
I just really and the more I've read about him, it's just like he kept on. So you got Belisarius, who's riding around being all heroic and doing the thing, and then you got this guy who just goes to his battles and just quietly annihilates the enemy and then moves on and adds it to a spreadsheet. But so obviously I did look at a couple of models. Now you're looking at early Byzantines.
That's all I'm saying. Quietly annihilates you and then moves on.
What a eunuch!
More the spreadsheet and the annihilation, not the eunuch.
And just quietly moving on with. I mean, to be fair, look at this. This person definitely has a spreadsheet. This guy definitely has a spreadsheet. He's doing a performance review. So model wise, so you're looking at early Byzantines. So footsore, do early Byzantines, first corps. But you know where I'm going with this. So,
I know exactly where you're going.
My is. Look at these. So here is a Byzantine unit from Aventine that will set you back £22 for all that lovely metal. Look at all of that. That's 22 quid.
Lovely. You've never spent 22 quid better.
I've got a whole load of Aventine stuff that was waiting for me when I came back from holiday. But of course, the thing that I wanted to add, ever since we showed them on the stream a couple months ago, is the beautiful Lombard cavalry. And now we could look. I'm going to put them up again. Look at them.
So this entire stream, Steve, has been just been a justification for why Martin needs to go back to Aventine and buy these cavalry.
I mean,
essentially,
but it was a long way to get to A to B.
It was,
and justification for buying said miniatures.
I mean, they are beautiful miniatures. I'll give him that.
Yeah, they are beautiful, but I just think it'd be a really rich period. You could probably use, you could really game it at kind of any scale. I guess if you want to do 6mm gaming, you've got the big sweeping battles. But I think there may be something like small Hail Caesar or Midgard. I thought could be quite cool because you've got the slight. I mean, obviously this guy is in no way heroic. What's he gonna do for abacus at them? But I just think it's great. But I really like the idea of a coalition army in the ancient period. So you could go and get the best looking models that you want from each range, which we do anyway, but you know what I mean? So you could get those Lombards and, for example, so you get the Lombards and the Byzantines from Aventine, go and get the Huns from Footsore, pack things out, get some late Romans in there from Victrix. So that was my Narcissus, the most unassuming conqueror of Europe. Well, I'll say European is. There we go. Had you heard of him? That was the thing I was going to, because I hadn't.
No.
I'd heard of Belisarius, but not this cry that's creeping. He's worm tongue. He's essentially worm tongue.
I'm not just saying this, but I think I had heard the name. I would not have known why or that sort of character. I mean, do you know what figure manufacturer you're going to use to actually make him? How are you going to?
No, I don't know, because I don't know if anyone makes just a really dour looking project manager that you could put at the back.
You'd have to have him at a desk, wouldn't you? Or at a chest or something, and
or just standing there, just with his arms folded, just looking a bit like I don't think
whatever. Go and kill them.
I'm probably doing him a massive disservice. I mean, like I said, he didn't actually enter military service, and he took part in some of the riots that took place in Byzantium and other places, and he showed himself to be ruthlessly efficient. And then they went, "Here's an army." go to Italy. Oh, this guy was able to quell the riots. Here, have an army of just people that we can't use anywhere else. And giving staff appraisals. That'd be amazing. Just kind of. I think you could do it. You could do it for Saga. You could do it, but yeah.
Jeremy wants to know what happened to him.
So in the end,
please tell us it was something really.
No,
amazing.
He basically he gets old and he goes off to some Byzantine province, and he annoys one of the emperors, and
Never
they
a good
sent
thing
him.
to
I
do.
can't remember what they said they did. I think they sent him a fret, which was essentially a piece of string. So not a thread, a fret, and the fret was a piece of string, and they were like, "This is how long you've got to live." And then in Legends, he basically keeps on tying new bits of string to it to make it longer. Because he's that kind, he's that kind of a person.
That's such an admin type of thing to do, isn't it? That really
do you know who I think? I just think of David Mitchell.
Yeah,
it's essentially all I think is David Mitchell. He died in bed. He died old man. He made like 85, 90 years old. He helped reconquer Italy, established the early Byzantine Empire. He got through it quietly.
Just surviving in your bed in the Byzantine Empire was enough.
Yeah.
For goodness
so that's my one. Who wants to go next?
So Lynn says apparently Epic History has a fantastic series on the whole Belisarius Narcissus campaign. Yeah.
Excellent. I like that one. Will Stonehouse, Valerian, because that was one of the other ones. Valerian John. He's sure he drinks in my local.
I
do
have to. I've got to find it. Somebody needs a red card round here because somebody was talking about. I can't even find it anymore, so maybe they've got away with it because there's been so many comments after that. But somebody was daring to bring up the vernacular for DBA for the troop type. Like, for goodness sake, whoever you are, get a red card for that. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, look. Yeah, absolutely. He made his troops to a stock take of arrows. He absolutely did.
He's the type of guy that once the battle's all done, he's like, right, lads, it's feedback form time. Sit down, 10 seconds, hand them in over there.
Honestly, though, Joe said, have a look at what he achieved because he went all the way through Italy. He came all the way back. He won battle after battle after battle. I think he had a couple of naval battles as well. And he just won because he was just ridiculous at logistics. He was just amazing.
It was you. You are done. There you go.
Of course it had to be. Right, go on then. Who's going next?
I'll go next because mine's slightly different. I didn't start with a person. I found a person. He's not quite as on rock and roll. I don't think he's rock and roll at all.
What are you saying?
Mine's slightly more depressing, but it's going to help me for a future project. So, when you announced what the subject was going to be, I'd been reading quite a few books about sort of the latter days of World War II. So sort of January 1945 onwards, so the real later months, and I've been reading this book. I actually had to buy it again on Kindle because I've lost my paper version of it. Don't know where it is. It's called With Our Backs to Berlin. So the German army retreated in 1945. And it's about 10, I think it's 10 or 12 individual tales of individual people and the retreat through Germany in the latter months of World War II. I said not overly comedic. There's not many very funny moments. I can remember anyway. That got me thinking about what could I do with the current bolt action project? Because I've got, as I mentioned before, about separating out all the stuff into small blocks.
Yeah,
I've got about 100 figures, 100 miniatures of all wildly different units. I've got like Volksgrenadiers, Volkssturm, Luftwaffe Field Division, Geberjäger, all different ones. And I thought, well, why not use this as a bit of inspiration to do like a late war defense of the fatherland, defense of Berlin type project? I get to use all the figures that I've not used for years, put them into one army, 1,500 points, yada yada yada. So I've actually got some notes because I couldn't remember everything. So I went to a bit of a deep dive, bit of a rabbit hole, and I came across it's called the Infantry Division Scharnhorst.
Right.
So this was formed at the end of March 1945, mainly comprised of officer cadets, because back then they were using anyone. if you could hold a rifle.
You didn't hide well enough.
Yes. So there was, just loads of different units. Just it was really weird when doing research. You find out, some of them they had like 6 tanks. That was it, 6 tanks, and they mostly ran out of fuel. But it's been really interesting. So that got me thinking about this current bolt action project. So I've been going with this infantry division Scharnhorst from 45, and they were led by this dude here. This is I hope I've got the right picture, because there was about 4 versions of this guy's name. This is Heinrich Goetz, and he was put in charge of Scharnhorst from like March, April. The good thing. Oh God.
That's quite a good joke, to be fair. Well done.
So these were the main engagement I found was that they fought around the Elbe against exactly, Alex. It's been really interesting, the amount of just I don't know, there's like a fatalistic desperation around the whole thing. Just these sort of disparate bands of all different branches just put together, and some of the different camp groupers, they were really interesting as well. But this one really sort of got my attention because, like I said, it's the main fighting they took part in was around the Elbe, fighting the Americans. Now my mate Ian's got quite a big US infantry army for bolt action. I thought there'd be a fantastic historical opposition force, and luckily I wouldn't have to buy anything. In fact, it's a bit of a crappy picture, but this is what I'm going to be doing.
The whole point is you have to spend lots of money. Come on.
Oh God, well, no.
Yeah,
so this
or make
this
others
is what,
do it.
Yes, well, that's always the aim of the PCP. Living vicariously through our projects. So it's just a picture I took this morning to show to my mate about what I was going to be working with. So that's all my spare stuff there.
Nice.
So again, they can all be used as part of a late, really, really late war, because there's Volksgrenadier in there, there's Volkssturm, there's Luftwaffe. Yeah, there's just loads and loads and bits and pieces I can actually make use of. So yeah, I can just use these remaining miniatures.
I love a ragtag kind of force.
That's exactly when I was going through this. Some of the photographs that I saw was just the sheer mass of different uniforms, uniform styles, camouflage, old equipment, newer equipment. It's such a fascinating period that everyone's
just crying out for Mr. Hicks to do some new models for.
Well, there was a picture that Paul did as part of his I think it was the German side of the Arnhem project. Yeah, might look into that.
Yes.
There's a picture that Paul posted, and it was I think it was 44 or 45, and it was like officers having a bit of a conflab, and the sheer differences in the styles of uniform, the equipment they were all wearing. Again, it just really, I like you said, the ragtag element of it. And being able to use these sort of, and the good thing about it is I'm going to run them as sort of inexperienced and green, because it's a bit of an extra challenge in bolt action when you run inexperienced troops with green, is they don't always do what you want them to do. They fail tests, they won't pass orders, they can't shoot, and they get cut down in droves. But who wants to win games anyway? Who wants to win? Who wants to win more games? You have a better time laughing at your own troops as they do absolutely nothing but run around like the Keystone Cops. But what I like about it as well is that there's a definite historical background there. There's an actual, and I know sometimes with bolt action people say it's a bit Hollywood, it's a bit comic book. And there's a few things in there that annoy me, so to speak. But I think having this centered around an actual division with actual fighting around an actual place rather than just a generic couple of platoons, duking it out over some nondescript part of Northern Europe. That really does appeal to me.
It'd be really interesting.
I like having the backstory as well. That's the biggest thing, and it's going to be a good historical opposition force for my mates US. That could lead to some really interesting games.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
But I think it's just good that it's recycling miniatures that I've not. I underestimated how many of them actually had. I dug them out this morning out of an old toolbox. I couldn't believe how much stuff was in there. I've got vehicles. I've got team weapons. I've got just a whole hodgepodge of different miniatures that I painted years ago. They needed a repaint and a rebase, etc. But no, I think when you announce, you announced the subject, I was like, you know what, this really fits into what I was doing at the time. Like I say, reading through a few books. There's a really interesting video by Mark Felton about the Scharnhorst. It's over about 15 minutes. It's really good though. Check it out. It's called The Last German Victory. And it's some really cracking footage and some really, really interesting background information on there. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't normally do big armies. I normally veteran forces, so they're normally quite small. But now this is going to be quite big. I think over about 60 or 70 minutes, I think. But yes, it's been interesting. But yeah, so the main book I've been using for references, like I said, with our backs to Berlin, and videos on YouTube. It's been.
Alex has a reference for you.
Oh, right, nice one.
Check out. That's awesome.
Oh, sweet. Cheers, Alex. I'll write that down.
So as well, just say it's 175 people in the chat. Thank you very much for
crikey.
for joining us. Of course,
at one point, 183.
If you're enjoying it, there is a like button if you guys fancy it. If you don't, there's another button you can press. But
yeah, that's mine, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be something different. It's the ragtag nature. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be crap. It's going to be crap on the tabletop.
I actually think, for all the failings of bolt action, which we all know, people are very opinionated on. I actually think the way that it comes into its own is that kind of scenario, where you're doing something historical and it's a ragtag force, and you can can build a force of all different types of troops to go together into it. I think that, for me, that's most fun I had playing bolt action was doing the same sort of thing, was just building in my case, it was a formation, a recce group that I wanted to build that was for a particular campaign. And I researched all the different troop types. It won absolutely nothing, but it didn't matter. But I'd really enjoyed doing it. It was just great fun. And you're getting the troops from all over the place. It was good.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, that's like mine. My one's a recce group. It's just got Lombards and Punic archers.
And an accountant leading them.
I've just been looking as well. There's some beautiful models of Belisarius being like, Vichy. I can't find anyone who's done like a ton of I think I'd actually just buy the worm tongue model from GW and use that. Go on then, Dom. Let's see what Dom's is. Then we'll go over to the news, and then I'll read out some of the others because there's been some awesome ones online.
There's been some really good suggestions.
Nice.
So this really was. I found this really challenging to nail down to just one in the end, and I went around so many because I'm doing a lot of World War I at the moment. A lot of because I say we're going to have a game of Russian Civil War. I got into investigating different generals in the Russian Civil War. God, there's some evil bunch in there. And so that was kind of one direction. I was also thinking about. Remember, I did a project some time ago about the Normans in Sicily. And the Hauteville family. I mean, any number of those would just be awesome characters. But I kind of done that, so
yeah.
So I'm kind of
Giscard would be another.
Giscard, Tangrid, loads of them. I mean, they're just so many.
They were horrible.
All horrible people. All came from nothing. They were basically landless gentry, and then they end up to ruling most of Italy and Sicily. For hundreds of years, actually, their family carried on up until Napoleon chucked them out, basically. Anyway, so the one I actually ended up, let me introduce you to Demetrius. Now, Demetrius is, admittedly, looking a little bit worse for wear, but he's quite old. He was the king of Macedonia between 294 and 288 BC. And he was, it's funny, when I started to think about who I was going to talk about for this and who I was going to bring up, he sort of came up as just a character. And I mentioned it before because I've got, when I was very much younger, I was very into books by a chap called Alfred Duggan. And there was a series of historical fiction books he did. And one of them was called Demetrius the Besieger. Oh, no, it was called Elephant and Castle, it was called. And it was about this guy. Besieger of Cities, I think it's been renamed, but it was something like Elephant and Castle. But anyway, whatever. Really, really clever, really interesting chap. And in many ways, he was thought to be kind of the incarnate of Alexander, probably one of the most successful.
Is he the son of
he is
Antigonus?
Antigonus One-Eye. He's the son of Antigonus.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's all I know.
That's basically it. So yeah, he was the son of Antigonus One-Eye. Now Antigonus One-Eye, this is a classic sort of case of a son who kind of tries to live up to his father, maybe. So his father became as close as any other general of Alexander's to recreate the empire of Alexander. And he basically, if you look at this map, the pinky bit was all that Antigonus.
Sorry, I've got to put this up.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
Very good, John. So he ruled this large chunky area in the middle, and also Greece. And he almost reorganized the entire Alexandrian kingdom. He got a bit big for his boot, and basically Ptolemy, Seleucus, Lysimachus, and Cassandros, so basically everybody else, all ganged up and kicked the shit out of him at Ipsus. And Ipsus was one of the classic battles of the age. Massive battle involving about 70,000 infantry and about 10,000 cavalry. The Seleucids had like 500-600 elephants on their side. It was a massive battle, and Demetrius was there. He was in control of Antigonus's right-wing cavalry, and this never ever happens in battles where he absolutely smashed his opposition, chased them off into the distance, and then got so far away that when he tried to come back, Seleucus had turned all the elephants around and blocked his way back. And meanwhile, his dad was with all the phalanx. Bear in mind, he was about 80 at this time, and then was chopped up by the rest of the allies who then kicked the shit out of him. But what was really interesting about that was that, apart from the fact he lost the battle for his dad and his dad got killed, was it wasn't the end of him, because he went on after having his father's empire ripped apart from underneath him. He managed to recover something like 5,000 infantry and about the same number of cavalry, and went back to Greece, and then recaptured Macedonia, and became king of Macedonia after that. And he had some amazing campaigns across the Mediterranean, even before his father was killed. At one point, he conquered Cyprus. He tried to take Rhodes, but failed, which is where he got the name moniker of Demetrius the Besieger, which was kind of ironic, as one historian said, that if he'd been successful in taking Rhodes, he would have been Demetrius the Conqueror. But because he didn't manage to take Rhodes, he was the Besieger. But he was an amazing character, and eventually they all, some of the other lords of the successor kings basically ganged up on him, and he eventually had to surrender to Seleucus and went into exile, where he quietly died. Nobody's quite sure how.
Another one who quietly died.
Yeah, another one who quietly died.
Well,
I think not quite as quietly as Narcissus did, but anyway. But I think this is a fantastic wargaming period. Here you go. I'm done my presentation, Martin.
Oh my God. You have? No, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like it's an actual. So did he? Because there's so many of them that I get. Did he beat Cassander? Because wasn't Cassander in Macedon?
He did. He did. He took when he initially captured Greece. He kicked Cassander in the nuts and took that from him, which was just before Ipsus. So he conquered Greece for his father, and that was part of the empire that they had, and also, as I say, some of the Greek islands and what have you. So it was. He was a really good general in his own right. He was also quite a good naval commander. Very, very clever tactician. Just never quite had the. He was up against big empires. You had the Seleucid Empire, which was enormous. You had Ptolemy and his massive Egyptian empire, and all the others, and plus a whole load of hairy-ass barbarians who all didn't like the fact the Greeks had been ruling them for so long. So he had it up against him, but he held out quite well. But it's great. I mean, if you want to do big battles, what's better than big pike elephants and lots of charging cavalry? And what I love about this period particularly is just the sheer variety of troop types you can use. Shut up. Shut up. Someone ban him now. You know, scythe chariots. You can have scythe chariots in these armies. They're absolutely amazing. So I've taken a leaf from you, Martin. The pikemen and the cavalry there are Aventine miniatures.
Yeah.
First corps is the elephant. And, you know, if you want to do Hellenistic forces, there are so many manufacturers do brilliant
there is
figures across multiple ranges, you know, everything 6 mil, 15 mil, 28 mil, and probably lots more besides. Loads and loads of rule sets you can use. It's just amazing what you can do. So I just think it's absolutely fantastic as a period to fight out. Plus, you can do campaigns using all these different empires and little groups that were involved in it. Little campaigns of different areas of the. You know, you could do Demetrius taking Greece from Cassander and all sorts of things like that. But also because he was quite involved in naval battles and naval invasions. If you're into naval things and you want to get your triremes done, then that's possible as well. And of course, if you're into smaller scale battles, then raids and scouting and what have you was very prevalent. So yeah, that was my one. Demetrius the Besieger, Demetrius, son of Antigonus One Eye. Cool. There you go. I put him forward as
James. No, James. Sorry, we're not going back down there. I've forgotten about that. I find that very, very triggering. The maps. Awesome. I think that we definitely fulfilled the brief.
Mm-hmm. I think we did.
I thought I was getting over my successor. Now you haven't. I don't know.
I'm just going to say to you, Martin, elephants, pikes, nice, pretty cavalry. What more do you want?
So the Byzantines had elephants.
No Romans. What more do you want?
Yeah, but aren't the Byzantines just Romans plus? Isn't that just there?
See, somehow the Romans. Somehow this is how inconsistent I am. That I don't like Romans, but I like the Byzantines. They're really interesting.
Yes, like because they're the Romans with an upgrade, aren't they? Just like.
Well, I think they're just a bit more interesting, and they're like you were saying with your character, the sort of the conglomerate type force that they put together of all different nations and mercenaries and everything else. It wasn't just Romans in heavy armor trudging towards the enemy and kicking the snot out of them. The Byzantines had all sorts of troop types, and then also they had to try and stop their own side screwing them in the back by
most of the time.
Funny, the Romans had to do that too, to be fair. But anyway,
awesome stuff. Well, I think that'll take us nicely into the news, and we've got a little bit of that. So let me find the horrible music. There we are. All right, here we go. Excellent. Right, Dom, what have you seen?
We've got to do something a bit more upbeat than that music sometimes, haven't we? It's so turgid.
Well, the other one was just, it just gets progressively darker.
What did I find? So, another Hellion book. Which is the Sino-Japanese War, which that looks so interesting. And I've got all the boxer figures, and I really want to do a Japanese army for Russia-Japanese War. So that might have to be in my reading collection fairly soon. Really interesting books. We keep saying this. Hellion are doing some amazing work at the moment. Some of the books they're producing are just phenomenal. And the quality is superb. I'm knee deep into my Ptolemaic Hellenistic book at the moment. It's fantastic, really good. Also, Victrix showed off their upcoming mounted sergeants. So there were some renders of that, and you can see what they look like, and they do look good. Really nice indeed. I expect you'll be buying loads of those, Martin, because I know how much you like mounted sergeants.
Oh, yeah. All the time on the horses,
Absolutely. Also, we've got the Perrys, Blessed Perrys, have basically launched their Spanish guerrillas as they normally do, a buy 3 and get a special commander thrown in for free when you buy your 3 box sets, which is pretty damn good. So many options within this. So many options. Really good indeed. Actually, look, you get two special figures with that. So there you go. Check that out. War bases have continued. I know, Steve, you got very moist with these. They've continued with their pre-printed coloured buildings. So there's a whole range of these for their Western range. So you've got the Gentleman's Outfitters. There's a photographer and printing shop. Murphy's Bar. It's always got to be a Murphy's Bar in every town, hasn't there? That's the law.
Yeah.
Bakery. What else we got? Drugstore and a barn of some description. So they're all very shortly be on sale from war bases. If pre-painted and pre-printed is your thing, and actually should be everybody's, because you can just have a little bit of weathering on them and tart them up a bit, and they absolutely come out beautifully. So really
from the ones that I bought last year for Western games, they've been a godsend. Literally, I think I bought 4 or 5, and it took about an hour to construct them all. And they look fantastic as well. They look so nice.
They do look very good. Yeah.
They are.
And then the other one I had was, if we can mention the Quars without getting in trouble. They've got a new hardback rule book is on pre-order at the moment, and as I understand, it has a whole load of extra rules in there. Brings together a couple of new another army, I think, of some sort, cavalry and all sorts of things. So because the basic rules for Quar are just almost like a throwaway sheet that you get in the box set. But that's now going to be a proper rule book on a hardback edition. So that's on pre-order if you're interested in Quars. What about you, Martin? What have you seen?
I've only seen a couple of bits, to be honest. So you're deleting things. I was about to click on something.
I'll stop now.
So the first thing to say is, so our friend James Moggs, Moggsy Makes, who's also the author of the Midgard, he's released his own flags. Now if you follow his blog or if you see his posts, he paints his own flags. Anyway, he's done so many of them, he's released his own flag sheets now. Cool. Starting with Saxons, Vikings, and I can't remember which the other one was, but they are on Wargames Vault. So if you search for Moggsy Makes or Moggsy Makes flags on there, you will find those. He's done a little video that shows them as well, but here we go. They're really rather nice.
They are nice.
Yeah, they're £7 for like a big sheet of flags. which
Good value.
do well. Like, so here's some of the Arthurian Saxon looking ones, and then here is I really
Hang on, go back to that other one. Isn't that guy? If you took his cross away, isn't that your?
Probably, actually, yeah. Well, just put a quill in his hand, a clipboard. Clipboard, yeah. Oh, it'd be perfect. And then here's his Viking ones as well. So those are all over on Wargames Vault. Go and have a look. If you do a project, I've got a couple, and I'm going to be popping them on some models soon. We occasionally show off RPGs, and this caught my attention. I don't know if people out here how many anime fans and that we have. I'm sure Steve has seen this. I'm going to guess that Dom hasn't. But there's a Ghost in the Shell role-playing game coming, but from Mantic. So I was wondering if they were going to support it with miniatures. Anyway, I saw that. I'm vaguely interested. It'll be yet another role-playing game I buy and don't play. I just sit there going, this system is so cool, and then never play it. So there was that. The Old World they've previewed the Breaching of the Great Bastion, another arcane journal for the Old World, sort of the narrative side of things. And then they showed off this Defenders of the Bastion. So this is a Grand Cafe army with some new miniatures in, I think. So if the Old World is your thing and you've been getting into the cafe stuff, there's more coming. However, this is my favorite thing of the week. And I feel like Steve needs this for his modern John Wick thing.
Okay.
Right. So, like the secret agents. So, Crooked Dice makes some wicked miniature sets. Yeah. Okay. So they got some other ones that are coming out now. They got like spies and detectives. But I think that John Wick and all the others, they would not stand up to these. These are the meddling kids.
Oh, fantastic!
I mean, Steve, do it. Do it.
Listen, I want them, and I don't even know what I do.
I just think
they are so cool.
I just it's phenomenal, brilliant. I would. Can you imagine? I want to see Scooby Doo versus John Wick. That would be,
Scooby snacks.
Yeah. Apparently, just very, very cool. But so that's all. Absolutely, jeepers. I thought that'd be very cool. Come with some little rules for each of them. That was that's all I saw. Really. I mean, you imagine putting them into Rangers of Shadow Deep. That would be quite fun. That'd be quite a laugh. That's all I saw. Really. But of course, we've got more important news, haven't we, Dom?
More important.
Oh yes,
we have more important news, as you know. So it's getting to the end of February. The planning's what I've been doing, but we're now stepping up the planning for this year's CrackCon in October, and which is already booked in the date, which is Dom
17th of October, Saturday the 17th of October.
Now, the tickets would normally go on. We normally put the tickets on sale around Easter, which will be probably similar again. But what we're doing at the minute, we've been in touch with a few people about games. If we haven't been in touch with you yet, don't worry. But also, similar thing, if you're interested in running a game, then pop us an email at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com. The email address is down below, or pop us a message privately. And we won't guarantee it. We're going to gather up all the sort of suggestions, have a look at what's on offer. We like to get a nice spread of games. We don't want all World War II or all ancients or all weird shit. We like to have a nice spread of demos. We've already got some. I know there's a couple of crackers in the works. Robin and I have got R1 planned. Although I don't know how he's going to top commissioning and painting up a clock tower. Well, I know what he's going to be doing. but you better get started now. So we'll start gathering up all of that, and then it might be a case of, if we have a couple of people who want to do Napoleonics and they both want to do GDA, maybe we get them together to do a bigger game of GDA, that kind of thing. So if you would like to put on a game, pop us an email down below, and we'll start having a look. But yes, 17th of October is the date, and we will be releasing the tickets around about Easter time. There'll probably be a few more available this year.
I think definitely there will be a few more this time, and I think if you're a member of the Facebook page, connection down or link down below, you'll see when we put them up, but we'll also obviously let people know on here as we can. But
absolutely, there will be a thing. So let's I think that's he can I swing it? John says, can he swing it this year? That's 2 days after his birthday. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
sounds like a perfect excuse.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me just get it. So, should we have a look at some of the ones that the viewers said for this? So there were some really good ones. Couple, actually, a fair few I didn't know anything about. So, hang on a second. Plastic Crack Podcast. There we go. So, where are we? So, Connor said that he found the prospect of a medieval free company themed off of John Hawkwood and his White Company very appealing. His exploits and campaigns for various city-states in Italy are really interesting, not being the most moral of characters. Coin prioritizing loyalty is even said to have switched sides mid-siege. I believe he is sort of credited as being one of the first examples of leading a highly successful military contract style force, amassing a large amount of wealth. The gaming aspects, the force will be very interesting as a late 14th century mix of nationalities and armor types with a strong focus on archers, but also mounted and dismounted men at arms.
Do you know, I saw his comment, and that was another one that I was thinking about that one as my one. But seeing his comment, and he wrote it so well, I thought he's written better than I would have done. I think Hawkwood is, and that whole kind of mercenary wars section of the Italian wars is just fascinating. And you just have to read any book, fantasy, historically accurate or not, and there's a myriad of characters you could pick up from there. Absolutely awesome. Very good. And as he says, all sorts of different troops. What kind of armies would you be able to fight in the medieval period, where you've got English longbowmen alongside Gascon knights, alongside French crossbowmen and German corsairs. It's just extraordinary.
I suppose I think that would probably shine, and not wanting to upset Yorkshire, who's the last person to comment on here, would probably shine at a smaller battle scale.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
but we could always feed it into a large one. Let's keep Ken happy. I'll read Ken's comment.
Yeah, go for
it. So Ken, French General Hager still. Actually, I have no idea what he's talking about. You do, which is I know.
Can I ban him? Can I ban him?
He does pretty models. So Ken said it's got to be great and a few more Uncle Miles, aka the Slasher O'Reilly, called the Slasher for his bravery in battle. He was also very useful at carving the Sunday roast. He fought against Scottish and English troops in the Confederate wars in Ireland in the 1640s. He is famed for his actions at the Battle of Finney, where his legend says the Slasher had with him 100 horse, while the enemy was 1,000 strong. They fought them the whole day long until his followers were nearly all slain. Finally, he encountered a gigantic Scotsman who thrust the point of his sword through Slasher's cheek. He closed the jaw on the blade. The Wars of the Three Kingdoms book, To the Strongest, has some scenarios, and he is very tempted.
Very interesting.
Stephen Ashworth said he's slowly building a 10 samurai army around Takeda Shingen to play Midgard with. Good choice. I've got a Takeda Shingen model, which is from the Test of Honor. I've got a really nice model. Paul said, ever since I see a documentary about Anthony DeLucy, I thought he'd make a good project. He was called the Knight of St. Bees because he was buried there in Cumbria. But what makes it interesting is he was killed in Lithuania whilst on crusade with the Teutonic Knights. But he was then wrapped in linen and coated with pine resin and put in a lead coffin and sent all the way back to England from Eastern Europe. So he must have been important. His body was discovered in 1981 in such good condition. They actually did an autopsy of him and found that he last ate for breakfast, and his cause of death was a punctured lung as a result of a fall, probably from a castle wall. So a project around him would be interesting if you could do a group of English knights and Teutonic knights. That would be
How
pretty
can
cool.
you not get excited about hearing
If
history
anybody,
like that?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see the autopsy, it's on YouTube. There's a documentary about it.
Was there really? Oh, I've got to look at
Yes.
that.
Oh, there's footage that they cut it. They obviously put him back, but he's still got his internal organs. His liver is still there.
Yeah. As someone who has dug up lead line coffins and got involved in them, it's how can I put this? It's an experience and also a smell that I will never ever forget. Not that one. I've done 2 in Leicester, lead line coffins, and you get really excited to begin with, and then that excitement slowly dissipates when you're the archaeologist who's got to you're the young archaeologist, or like the one who's starting. They're like, oh, you can look, see you can go. You're the one who's doing that.
You do,
you know. Yeah, you know.
What was the knight's name? Glenn was there?
It was Anthony DeLucy.
Anthony DeLucy.
Also called the Knight of St. Bees, as in the buzzing things. Matt Williamson. Now Matt's always good for a project. He said he's already built his obscure king, a 2-year 300-figure project for his Bretons in the 8th century who fought the Carolingians, Saxon pirates, and other Breton kingdoms. I believe, because he put a link here, it's Morvan Le Brise, the first king of Brittany. See, this is all this sort of like 6th to 8th, 9th century where everyone's just carving up good old early medieval. So Alid said currently working on basing some Chain of Command and O'Hare campaigns based on James Holland's novels about the fictional Jack Tanner. A bit like the Shark of World War II. Good. I think as well, yeah, doing stuff around fictional, because I've seen people do stuff about based on the Simon Scarrow books, you know, Macro and Cato, obviously Sharp. I don't think I've ever really seen Hornblower. Anyone bother doing?
No, it's true actually.
Obviously
about that, it's Bernard Cornwall's birthday today. Happy birthday, Bernard.
Why is he not here with us?
Bastard. Sorry.
Bastard. Well, he's definitely not now because he clearly watches the PCP on his birthday, or at all. The Warlord Chronicles, obviously.
Yes,
still in my opinion, his best books. James Wilkinson. Now, I knew that he was going to comment this.
I knew what James was going to say.
I knew he was going to say this. So his candidate would be Owain Gwyndor, Welsh rebel leader of the early 15th century. Not only is he a fascinating character in his own right, but his rebellion, in my opinion, offers a huge amount of inspiration and scope for wargaming. The uprising itself is ideal for asymmetric guerrilla-style warfare, making it ideal for skirmish games, especially those able to replicate hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, and mountain warfare. At the same time, the rebellion also has larger pitched engagements and gives scope for big mass battle clashes. There are sieges. The revolt is full of raids. The dramatic storm in the Conway Castle alone would make a brilliant narrative scenario. I distinctly remember a post-CrackCon chat with Steve Ross. I think I was part of this as well, actually, where I was frothing about potentially using 0-200 hours because I remember saying, I think someone in the group, on the 0-200 group, has done knights, cards for knights and centuries. If you're so inclined, you could even layer in fantasy elements. English chroniclers accused Gwyndor of sorcery, claiming he could control the weather. Perhaps this opens interesting possibilities, scenario-specific special rules. It's like he's convincing himself as he's writing.
It is, isn't it?
The interplay between... Sorry, go on, Steve.
I was going to say that the best thing about having a chat with James is that he's got this planned out 100% in his head. He knows exactly how he wants it to look, how he wants it to play out. It's one of those projects. I think it may take a while to come to fruition, but I think he'll definitely go through with it. And it'll be fantastic. One day, yeah.
He said the interplay between the forces is also interesting. For example, early on, the Welsh forces are largely militia, perhaps supported by a small scattering of veterans, knights, and nobles facing heavily armored English and feudal levies. Perhaps if you were to create a campaign, successful raids could allow the Welsh to capture and redistribute better equipment. There's treachery, guerrilla warfare, pitched battles, sieges, myths, and a cast of characters straight out of a historical epic. Edmund Mortimer, Henry Hotspur was involved, the usurper Henry IV, and a young Henry V. For those reasons, my nomination would be Owain Gwyndor, the true Prince of Wales. And that's his presentation. There we go. Tim Bickerdike said he's already doing a very British Civil War force based around North Somerset Yeomanry, an obscure unit in the territorial forces who served in South Africa, World War I and World War II. No gallant actions, no famous battles, no VC winners, just ordinary guys doing a job no one should have to do.
Good
Excellent. Jonathan Ward, I should have saved his picture, but have a look on the Facebook group at the post. But so Jonathan, he is very interested in African colonial warfare, which has a lot of obscure but interesting individuals, some eccentric European explorers, African warlords, and traders. He could, where is it? He said he could pick the African warlord who beat the Arabs of Taboro and created an empire using an army who fought the Egyptians, the kingdom of Burgundy, and eventually the British, Changa, whose name was actually John Harrison Clark, a British adventurer from South Africa who became a chief in northern Rhodesia after helping the locals to battle the slavers. I'll settle for Frederick Lugard, though, as I've already built an army around him. An Indian army officer who, after being unlucky in love, took a leave of absence from the army, travelled to East Africa, where he was persuaded to lead a ragtag army created by the British African Lakes Company to fight against the Arab slaver, I can't pronounce that name, along the shore of Lake Nissa in what was called the Karagonga War. Despite failing to beat him, he went on to pacify Uganda for the British Empire and became governor of Nigeria. So he got his well.
There's some brilliant ones like that.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking, another one I was thinking about was the German commander. I forget his name now. In the First World War, who held off the entire British Empire in Africa. Fighting a guerrilla war he basically didn't surrender until the war actually ended. He kept fighting the whole way through the war, even though he was surrounded, outnumbered, had no supply lines, and they tried to resupply him with a Zeppelin at one point, but that didn't go too well.
You could do a whole project about that Japanese chap who didn't surrender.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just do one really long project, just one guy. Tim Hall. This is a good shout. He would nominate Sertorius, the last in a Marian leadership. Based in Iberia, he headed the resistance to the Sulliist faction in Rome. He gave the consul sent to take Iberia a few bloody noses and even beat a young Pompey.
Nice.
That's a cool one. And then James Moggs, and I kind of knew that he was going to do this. And I agree, because I don't think he gets it. People talk about him, and I think it's getting a little bit more interesting, but he put forward Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, El Cid. Incredible career, serving several lords, followed by striking out his own, making a name for himself, then making himself Prince of Valencia, commanded in multiple battles and won the lot. History is even better than the Charlton Heston movie. I don't mind that movie. I still quite like that.
Movie is very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
I remember my mum showing me that film when I was about 8. I think I must have been ill off school or something, and we always used to watch like history films and that. And my only question was, what happened to the horse at the end? That he like that.
Yeah, because he just rides off through, doesn't
yeah.
You're right.
Apparently, because I've got it on DVD. I've got the Region 1 because Martin Scorsese's favorite film, and it's one of the films he said it made him want to make films. And he does the introduction on it, and there's loads of like behind the scenes stuff on there. And apparently they did shoot like a few bits where he keeps on getting shot by arrows, which I can't remember. Obviously they did this whole thing about tying him to the horse and all that. It's probably bollocks, but they decided, I can't remember what they said. They said it was too graphic because he was wearing all that white. He's wearing the white tunic and he's got the white horse and the white arm. That if you started to bloody it up with arrows, it didn't have the same kind of effect. It's like where he's riding off at the end. So they got rid of that bit.
I get that. I think actually it's quite powerful the fact he rides through and is untouched.
Yeah, save for the fact he's dead.
Yeah, apart from the fact he's dead. I mean, obviously.
I love the soundtrack. I've got the soundtrack on vinyl. The Miklos Rosser. Yeah, I love it. I love the soundtrack. I think it's a phenomenal film. Did you watch the series, the DLC Amazon series?
No,
it's not bad. I didn't think it was that bad. It is Spanish made, and they are all wearing, because obviously the big thing about the Chuck the Heston film is that the armor's like 300, 400 years later than it's very short. But the one on Amazon, they're essentially wearing normal, because they essentially Norman garb, the Iberian stuff. It's on iPlayer. Excellent.
On iPlayer, there you go. Knock yourself out, folks. Yeah, you're right, Mark. That's the chap, Paul Lado Volbeck. That was the German chap. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. John had one. He put forward there's an officer in the Vietnam stuff I'm painting that is Colonel Kilgore. So now I need to carve out a couple of surfboards. Lynn, Teddy Roosevelt. That's a good shout.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Is there a Giants in
very
miniature?
Good shout. Yeah.
There's a Giants in miniature for him, I'm sure.
I think you're right. There is. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. That's very cool. Good shout. Simon says he suggests Jeffrey Spicer Simpson of the Lake Tanganyika campaign in World War One. I belatedly murdered that pronunciation. A man court-martialed for wrecking his own ships. A liar.
Brilliant.
Wearing his skirts. Despite this, he won. Doing the characters, should we say, from history. More fun. Could always do something in the 8th, 9th century based on Wyman, the pirate bishop of the Isle of Man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Colin, one of my projects is around Johann August Sandels. He mounted a counter campaign against the Russians in Finland in 1808. Some of his battles included Finnish peasants with farming equipment. I thought it'd be quite fun to do a project for the Battle of Fornham near here, which is early in the reign of Henry II. And that's the one where Henry II fights against some French forces and loads of Flemish mercenaries. Mm-hmm. And this is only down the road. And that's where the Flemish mercenaries get beaten so bad that they get driven into a swamp that's on a golf course just down the road. And the Henry II's army just leave them there for the peasants to kill them. And they killed about 2,000 of them stand in the marsh. They basically just stand on the edge of the marsh.
So the members wouldn't be very happy about that. I mean, their golf course.
Have a look at it if you've got a chance. Type into Google Fornham golf course sword and have a look at the sword that they pulled out of one of the water features, because we got I think I can talk about this. It's been in the news. We got asked if we could go so they found it. They were just dredging a water feature, and this beautiful sword in a scabbard before the date was found. And they'd found another one on the battlefield about 50 years earlier in another part.
Wow.
And we got called, and they were like, we're basically, we're going to be doing a little bit of building work, and we need some monitoring. So myself and my business partner, because you get a call like that and you're like, yeah, we're going out to that one.
Yeah,
we're doing that one. Yeah, it comes.
We're not sending little kids out for that one. We're going.
No. We went out there, and I can talk about this now because it's been like the photos have been in the papers and everything. So we went out. We found nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was there for days. Nothing. Golf balls and lots of people judging me for my career choice. Nothing. We were just. I was gutted. We didn't even get a cup of coffee off the golf course, right? But I met the digger driver who found it, and he was very pleased with himself. And he showed me this picture, and you've got the digger bucket like this, yeah. So it's like that, and sticking out of the bucket like that, like Excalibur. Is the sword
wow?
And it's complete. Have a look at it. It's like got if Fornham golf course or Battle of Fornham sword. Have a look at it. It's on display now. It's an awesome thing. But the funny thing is, I say funny. It's not particularly funny. It's a bit grim, in fact. After the battle, I said they killed all these Flemish mercenaries, but the locals around here left them standing in the marsh, left the bodies upright in the marsh. It's like a warning. So there's all these comments.
Inspired Steve's turnips. Those That's what it inspired.
There's all these comments because Bury St Edmunds here, where I live, it was a place of pilgrimage because St Edmunds is buried here, right? And there's all these comments of anyone who's coming that way. There's these chroniclers who are like, we had to go through like this swampy bit, and there's just like skeletons, or there's just bits of armor and just dead people just upright in there. And locals are like, yeah, we don't mind.
I bet some local went, that'll teach them.
Yeah, but I thought that was quite a good project.
That's great.
Legari Sigurd of Norway, the first European king to go on crusade, looted his way through England, Spain, Sicily, back to Constantinople, and instrumental in the siege of Acre. Good shout.
I love a good crusade that's all about raiding and pillaging. That's fantastic. Yeah.
That's why I like I know it sounds awful because obviously the crusades and everything that goes with them. We've talked about this before. But the actual kind of like, so if you look at like the first crusade, what I find so interesting about it is that the actual crusading army itself was such, it shouldn't work. Well, it didn't work half the time. How it worked is a miracle. But you have all that Byzantine influence in there. You've got all the second sons of the nobility of Europe who all hate each other. They're all in competition. Then they slowly work their way through like the Seljuk Turk provinces, and then one by one they're like, nah, I don't really care about Jerusalem. I'm just going to keep this castle for me and carve out my own kingdom here. And then obviously Jerusalem gets taken, and then they suddenly remember that that's what they were supposed to do, and then they all just go to war with each other.
Yeah,
and so yeah.
Bunch of thugs who are only out for what they can get, and it's.
I still feel a little bit sorry for Robert of Normandy, Robert Curtis.
Oh yes,
William the Conqueror's eldest son, because all the other commanders are second sons, but he's the eldest son. It's just that William didn't like him, so he got Normandy, and went off on crusade. William II got given England, mysteriously passed away in the forest in a hunting accident, and then Henry, the youngest, who'd just been given money, got over his grief really, really quickly. Went, oh no, I'll have England. Oh look, my other brother's not around, so I'll just look after Normandy while he's on crusade. Robert Curtis comes back from Normandy. Comes back from crusade to Normandy. Decides, oh, I'm going to invade England. Realizing he wasn't actually a very good commander. Basically, lands in England, gets captured and gets put in. Is it Leeds Castle? He died. He's another one. He died at like 80. He spent 35 years. He was like one of life's losers, basically. Yeah, not very good. Anyway, sorry. I'll put forward his ancestor Hugh O'Neill, Earl of Tyrone, fought the 9 Years' War against Elizabeth I and surrendered 1 week after her death. I assume
must be her death. Yeah,
that's a good shout.
That's a
very good shout.
I love family history. That's always cool. Very cool.
Nicephorus Phocas, or whoever wrote the Tactica associated with him, before he got big, carrying out guerrilla actions and mounting ambushes against the much bigger Islamic raiding armies in the Anatolian borders. We've seen stuff about the Greek War of Independence. We've seen stuff for that before, but there's some really, really good stuff on there.
Yeah, it's an interesting period, that's for sure. Yeah.
No, that's really, really, really cool. No, there's lots and lots and lots of that. I don't know which hole it was on. I know that there's now a battlefield walk that takes you across the golf course, and I don't know how happy they are about that. I keep on meaning to go and walk it because a friend of mine.
I think you know exactly how happy golfers will be about you traipsing across. I
don't get on with golf. I've done archaeological surveys on golf courses because their things are really well preserved. Like the Battle of Barnet is a golf course, and I was doing geophysics on this hole on a golf course near Norwich, and I had to put my hard hat on because people were whacking the ball at us while we were, and because we have to wear high vis when we're doing it. What we did was like present tempting targets to them. Yeah, we did get a little golf buggy to drive around, didn't they? So that made it. That made it all okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That made it all right. Oh, well, I think that was a very successful rundown. I don't know how many people are thinking of starting some projects.
I think there should be a couple of people here for sure.
Oh yes.
Well, I know Martin's already placed an Aventine order, so you know.
My problem, do you know what? Those Lombards are in my basket. But my problem is, it's like I'd have to get both sides again.
Yeah.
And the only thing about him is he fights a lot of different people. Like, you know, they fought a lot. But yeah, that kind of whole sort of the attempted reconquest of the Western Roman Empire is really interesting. You know,
what rule set you going Hail Caesar with it?
I don't know, or Midgard. Hail Caesar or Midgard probably. Maybe I need to give Impetus a go again. It was Cardiff Castle that Jig.
Well,
but
if
yeah,
you want to do your boring accountant, I'll do an opponent for him, and next time you come down for warfare, we'll have a game.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Target.
My boring. We'll have to give him some suitable rules, though. We'll have to be like,
yeah, we would. Yeah.
Like, what do you? I mean, how do? I don't even know how you would put across.
Well, there are rule sets where you can spend money or tokens of some sort. So I feel that.
Yeah, I'm sure we can come up with something. Performance review. Just upgrade performance review.
At the end of turn 3, you do an appraisal of your commanders, and if they're not up to scratch, they get replaced. If you roll too many ones.
Leave me alone. That's the other thing as well, though. He had cataphracts as well, and yeah, and they make painting horses fun because there's not much of the horse to paint, and then you can get out your silver spray and. You know, and yet Haley can role play the spreadsheet.
Sounds perfect, really.
It's
meant to be, Martin. That's all I can say.
It probably is. I have I've got some Byzantine stuff, but it's later. It's the Crusade stuff I've got. Do you know what? I've still got those Varangian Guard models. Those ones that I don't know why I haven't thrown them out. Are
they the Fireforge ones?
Yeah.
You didn't like those. You didn't like those, did you?
No.
Oh, hang on. No. That one. Cataphracts and spreadsheets. Where do I sign up?
That's a name for it. Cataphracts and spreadsheets. That's a role play game.
There's the supplement written already. There's the title. Done.
Tell you what, I don't think.
Will you stop it? Stop it now. Jesus.
No, those Varangian Guard models, I waited ages for those as well to come back into stock. And they're awful. They're awful.
There you go, Thomas.
I think I have to start a Narcissus Forces with Nigel. It's like, I think you should. Absolutely. You got to have him in there. We just need to find a suitable model, or we will need to. That could be maybe we should get a Crackon model made, and it can be Narcissus.
You know, that would be really good. Yeah.
Everyone needs a Narcissus. But the thing is as well, like, if he'd ended up being crap, this is the thing I find amazing about it. Like, no one really, people, I think somebody have heard of him or knows that. And he was just a mathematician, a statistician. And he didn't take any glory.
I feel kind of, somehow it's standing up for the little man, isn't it? It's like you hear about all these characters that are larger than life, big war leaders, and then there's some little knobby guy that's just like most people are really, and he does better than all of them, and he survives, and he lives to a right old age. Now, he had to be a eunuch, which is a bit of a downer, but apart from that, he was everything was good with him, wasn't it?
Do you know? I've just looked it up. Do you know how? So his biggest command. He was 74.
Crikey.
When he was the treasurer under Justinian. And then Justinian went, this guy's good with money. I'll send him to run my war.
Knowing the Byzantines, that's probably exactly the rationale, wasn't it? It's like because they were more worried about the money than they were about anything else. So the fact it was all a mercenary army, it's like, who are we going to look after this army? Oh, we'll send the accountant because he's good with money. he'll deal with that. Oh, but is he any good at tactics? I don't know, but he'll look after money.
Yeah. So I've just put up on here. A later Italian legend claims that after being insulted and recalled, Narcissus invited the Lombards into Italy. He invited them into Italy. Okay. And that his troops brought new food, like pasta. Historians say this is almost certainly a myth. So,
good story, though.
But he invented. Okay. Yeah. I think that's worthy of a wargaming project. Right, I'll get something sort of put up.
I think that's the winner.
Let's have a look. I do like the Owen Gwynfor or Llewellyn. I can't remember which one it was now. Which one?
I mean, Welsh thing, really. Yeah. Yeah. There's some good suggestions, though. I think the thing about it is that what it shows is that just a little bit of digging around the history, and you can find these amazing characters.
Sorry, I've just found this. Listen to this. So he had his rivalry with Belisarius. So they didn't like each other. They disagreed on strategy. Their troops, they split their troops' loyalty, which stalled their campaign progress at one point. So Belisarius reportedly found him, quote, meddlesome, and Narcissus thought Belisarius was overrated. The Emperor eventually recalled Narcissus. Is that the same as just separating co-workers that don't get on?
It probably is, yeah.
God, that's HR mediation right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than some forms of mediation that the Byzantine empires did, which was generally
I found there you go. I found the quote. I'll finish on this. So that thing I said about the spinning of the thread. So this is probably the pettiest story. So after Justinian died, Justinian II and the Empress Sophia recalled the elderly Narcissus from Italy. Allegedly, Sophia mocked him, saying he could return to the palace and spin wool with the women. Narcissus allegedly replied he would spin a thread she'd never unravel.
I love it.
I was going to say he's got balls, but he quite clearly hasn't. So.
Well,
yeah, I think you got it right here. Look, Justinian, Emperor by day, HR representative by night. Yeah. It is the Byzantine Empire. Maybe we should all run our companies the way the Byzantines. Maybe not actually. Maybe not. Right. Why are these things? Sorry, I'm just trying. These things are struggling to.
Also, the Byzantine Empire didn't survive, so it's probably not a good thing, really, to run your
lasted longer than. Well, yeah, all right.
Well, than many companies. That's very true. To be fair, and also longer. Yeah.
Right. As always, the Facebook group has been awash with beautiful photos and reports of what's been going on. Now, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, please follow the link down below. Join us. Post up what you're working on, what games you're playing, what videos you're doing, what events you're going to, what events you're running. If you're doing Kickstarters or something like that, just get in touch with us and let us know what you're doing, and we give it the okay. But yeah,
it reminds me. Somebody asked a question. I'm sorry, Martin, just occurred to me.
Yeah, go for it.
Someone asked a question about whether they could post details about a convention or an event that they were running. I said, absolutely. That's exactly the sort of thing.
Of course, yeah.
The only thing we say not to is sales, just because we don't want to be awash with people selling stuff. But other than that, if it's about a games day or running some kind of event, or you want to publicize your local show, stick it up there.
Go for it. Absolutely. Right, let's have a look at some of these. So Kevin, he's been working on Dixon Miniatures Samurai, and I believe these are ones he's had for a while, and he's basically just putting some paint on them, getting them basic and finished. But that's a very cool looking force. How are you getting on with your Samurai, Dom?
They're done pretty much.
All done.
No project is ever properly done, but yeah, they are. I'm now waiting for Paul and Tony to catch up so that we can have an F-off big battle.
What have I done?
Yeah, not you. No, you did. You went the wrong scale anyway. That's where you went wrong.
No, I've been distracted by Italian Lombard cavalry.
Fair enough.
These are very, very nice.
Very nice
Nathan has been working on some
Oh,
ECW cavalry. I believe these are coming to Carry On Cracking. Proper wobbly bases.
Wobbly bases.
Excellent stuff. Matt, he's been working on Little Force of Pillage, but he's based his characters on the Vikings from the Viking show. So he's done like a Ragnar and a Rollo, the shield designs as well, which is really nice. I really like the colours on the shield.
Nicely done.
Very cool.
That's another inspiration thing, isn't it? From TV shows and what have you doing this.
Yeah, you could base a character on. Yeah. I'm still waiting for that Vlad the Impaler project. Still waiting for that. Noosphere. Now, Noosphere always puts up amazing photos, but he's been working on his 40k stuff. So even Dom is gonna love this. So this is his first striking scorpions that he's done. The man can take a photo. And he can paint as well. Let's put it out. Very nice. Very cool. Paul was playing and he's playing a Hugomon game. So always cool to see.
Very nice.
Always nice to see. Paul Richardson has been finishing some Swedes for the Great Northern War, which will be probably beating my cavalry. But yeah, they're really nice.
They're the ones with the instant +1, aren't they, on everything?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we get to the bottom. Are they Swedish? Yes, +1. So, my one. Are they Russian? Yes, -3.
-3.
Yes. So yeah, they'll be coming to fight us. But yeah, really, really nice minis. Robin has been working on some more of his moderns. There's some modern US stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. This is 15 mil stuff.
Very nice.
Really nice. Really good work on the camo. Very good. Jonas has been working on his World War II stuff. This is US, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
He showed off.
They're good. Like those. Like the mortar.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Do like those.
Nice.
Now Stephen. I mean, look at these.
Oh wow.
It's beautiful.
That's
lovely.
Really
do you know what I really like on here? And it's that he hasn't overdone the bases, because he's done the work on. I mean, the bases look great. They do, but I think that cavalry unit just looked phenomenal. And if he'd overdone,
do much with with figures like that, do you? They're so nicely done.
Yeah, look at that.
Don't need to.
I feel like it would draw
to hide the figures, but
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hide the mistakes. So I would automatically I don't really tend to do horses' hooves. I slather them in mud. But he's done a phenomenal job. Excellent work. Simon was playing a game. Now this was I've forgotten now. This was an Ancients game, I believe. But he's playing Mortem et Gloriam.
Cool.
I forget which battle. Was it Lucetta, I think, was the battle?
Very cool. Yeah, it was Lucetta, wasn't it? Yes, it was. You're right. The Thebans against the Spanish Spartans, wasn't it? I think.
That's a very cool looking battle.
Very cool.
Very nice. And then Stephen he was playing the Battle of Edgehill, but he was using Valor and Fortitude. The parry system. So I'd really like to know how that played out. I didn't realize they put lists out for the ECW. I might have missed that.
I didn't either. No.
But yeah, nice
Unless
stuff to
just
see.
Adapted them somehow.
Yeah. Warren, he's been working on boats.
What madness has he been doing?
Yes, madness.
Boat madness. Boat madness. Boat madness. But they look awesome. Walkabout. He's been working on. I forgot what the hell these are now.
That looks like African, like Mogadishu type troops. Is that?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think it's. Hang on.
I think they said for the Spanish Civil War.
Possibly? Yes. Oh God. Yes. Sorry. Yes. That's it. Spanish Civil War. That's it. I knew. Why I left it off there? Yes. Spanish Civil War. He showed them all off. Yes.
I mean, completely the wrong century.
No. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Finally, Andy's come up with something sensible tonight. There you go. List for ECW
Excellent.
on the Perry
Where is
side.
that? Oh, and Eric Grace has popped in. Finally caught us live. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to finish in a second. But...
Okay, so we've got about 10 seconds left, but that's fine.
Stig, finally once Stig has been painting some old dwarves. Look at those.
Look at those fellas.
Good. Very nice.
I don't know much about dwarves, but those look like proper old school ones.
They look like proper dwarves. They are very nice. Very cool. So, guys, there we go. That's the end of the stream. Now, I would put up the menu, so you can see what's coming, but for some reason it wouldn't export. So we'll run through it quickly and then it'll be up in the group. Next week, we are over on Steve's channel, where we are going to be joined by the dedicated sculptor and all-round person that makes us spend money, Mr. Paul Hicks. Again, we're going to be chatting what he's been up to and some things he's got coming up. So tune in over on Steve for that. The week after that, we're back on this channel. We're just going to have a hobbying stream. We've been chatting a lot recently, so we're just going to chat crap for a couple of hours and do some hobbying.
Like we don't do that every week.
Yeah, but we'll get some painting done. The week after, we're on Dom's channel, and Dom has picked a question. Go on, Dom, what did you pick? Because this won't get contentious.
Who's your perfect opponent?
Who's a perfect opponent? Brilliant. Yeah, so we'll have to we'll see how that goes down.
That might be an interesting discussion. We might have to censor a few people there. We don't want names, right? We don't want names of negative ones, but types is probably more.
Yeah, types. Oh, not just names. It's not a list.
Well, damn it!
If you want to name and shame, that's fine.
Not Dom, not Haley, not Robin, not Matt. Basically Miller, because he rolls and his whole army leaves the table without me having to fire a shot. No, bless. That's gonna be great. Then the week after that, so on the 23rd, it's just Steve and myself, because Dom and Ken, if he would have been on, are jet setting over to the States to attend Adepticon. So they won't be here. However, Steve and I are going to be joined by Charlie from Wargames Atlantic, and we're going to be chatting about all the stuff that they've got coming up, and especially what's going to be happening at Salute, where I think Wargames Atlantic have got a pretty big presence this year. So we're going to be pressing in for information about that. Then the week after that, Dom and Ken will be jet lagged, so won't be able to do anything. I will probably be very tired because it's Carry On Cracking, so there won't be a stream. So you're getting 4 streams in a row, and then a break. But we have decided that we will be on the bank holiday Monday, Easter. So we will be on. There will be a stream that day.
Yes.
So there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Remember to check out Boards and Swords. Remember to check out the channels, hit the like button, all that shill stuff. Go away, start your projects. If you can think of any more, comment in the Facebook group. Let us know.
Tell us in the Facebook page if anybody does take up any of these projects.
I'd be interested.
Come up with. I would, and show us pictures, and if you're doing the spreadsheet, man, do your spreadsheets. We'd love to see it.
Yeah. What's that? I think Robin and Haley should host a takeover for that. Get right. On that note, we're out. They were talking. We're out. I will see you all very, very soon. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you later. Bye-bye,
everybody. Take care.
Bye.